Alright, what's going on everybody? Welcome back to another video here on the channel, and today we're going to be talking about Twitter once again, man, because Twitter is spiraling out of control very quickly. It's insane watching it all happen in real time, just kind of watching how the platform reacts as Elon Musk is now trying to basically come in and make all these massive changes and everything. We're actually going to talk about some of the new changes that Elon Musk has discussed doing, apparently. I gotta say, man, if he goes through with what we're about to talk about today, this would probably be the end of Twitter, at least as we know it. Like, it would never be the same again. So many people would stop using it. I assume the majority of people who use Twitter and watch this video, once you hear the news, like, it'll immediately click in your head, like, yeah, if this happens, then I'm done with Twitter, man. But as we all know, Elon Musk is now in control of the platform. He's been making a lot of pretty major changes to the platform to kind of try and, basically shake things up. He's trying to make Twitter more profitable. He's trying to make it more of a free speech platform, and he's loosened some of the restrictions and some of the control over things that you can say and do on Twitter, which has also upset a lot of people. We're going to talk about that as well in today's video. And overall, man, we're just going to kind of discuss what exactly is going on with Twitter. I know there's been a lot of coverage about this on the channel recently. We've been making videos left and right, talking about all the ins and outs of what's happening with Twitter, but this is pretty major, man. This is one of the most established social media brands on the planet that's essentially going through like a massive overhaul. Like, as we all know, Twitter has basically been bought out by Elon Musk. He went through with the purchase and everything and made the company private, so it's no longer like listed on a stock exchange, for example. And let's be honest, it's not like it would be a good time for Twitter to be on the stock market in the first place right now. Stocks are doing absolutely terrible. Millions of investors have already dropped stocks, and the caution is kind of a result of a bloody year for the markets, one that's brought that classic 60-40 portfolio of stocks and bonds to its knees. This go-to strategy for decades has lost 34% this year, which is its worst performance in 100 years. As a result, expert institutions like Goldman Sachs say that your portfolios need to be rebalanced to avoid further losses, and they highlight real assets as they've previously outperformed in volatile conditions like these, like fine art, which Goldman specifically says can protect your purchasing power in these conditions. In fact, Morgan Stanley reports the average piece is selling for 26% more at auction compared to this time last year. No wonder the folks over at Masterworks are seeing increased demand, because they let you invest in multi-million-dollar paintings from legends like Banksy and Picasso. And keep in mind, these are not NFTs, and as recently as early October, Masterworks sold a painting for an incredible 21.5% net return. In fact, 6 of Masterworks' 7 sales have brought in over 20% net returns. That's insane in comparison to the 34% losses that I mentioned earlier. As a result, Masterworks has a waitlist to join their 550,000 plus members, but you can skip it just by clicking the link in the description. So Elon Musk and Twitter have basically seen a pretty insane phenomena unfold, right? Like I said, that you got one side of people who are really excited that Elon Musk has taken control over Twitter and everything. They like the changes that he's making. Then on the other hand, you have people who are extremely upset and they kind of see it as like, oh, Elon Musk is ruining Twitter. Look at what he's doing. Look at what this billionaire is doing, right? There's a lot of criticism for Elon. But there's a recent article that came out that I wanted to take a look at here today because honestly, it's insane to think that this is even a possibility, right? Now, this is coming from The Verge here, and basically it's talking about how Twitter could be put behind a paywall. And I'm not talking about a verification badge or, Twitter Blue, whatever you want to call it, right? I'm talking about the entire Twitter app, like behind a paywall. It's insane to think about because part of what makes these social media platforms like Facebook, YouTube, Snapchat, Instagram, Twitter, all of them, right? What makes them so great and so usable for the average person is the fact that they're free. You can just go on the App Store and download Twitter, So to me, I think it's an insane concept to want to put the entire platform behind a paywall. But you got to think Elon Musk is trying his best to make the platform profitable. He wants to make this something that makes money, right? That's been one of his stated goals. He's trying to turn the direction of Twitter around from all these features that are losing money to basically monetizing what he can and getting some revenue out of the platform. I mean, after all, the guy did spend over $40 billion on this platform. Of course, he's going to try and make some money off of it, right? Now, if Friday brought massive layoffs to Twitter, Monday brought fresh evidence that the company will never be the same. Musk has discussed putting the entire site behind a paywall, Platformer has learned. Meanwhile, the company is scrambling to lure back employees who it laid laid off mere hours ago, and some workers say the economics behind its soon-to-relaunch Twitter Blue subscriptions could actually lose the company money. All of this took place against the backdrop of a company that still has yet to hear anything official from Musk via email or a company-wide meeting. As Monday began after losing thousands of their colleagues days earlier, many employees didn't know who their managers are. Meanwhile, Musk's increasingly erratic leadership, coupled with his habit of tweeting in eye-watering bad taste, gave many current and former employees I spoke with a sinking feeling about the future of their company. Today, let's talk a bit more about the company botching its layoff process, what happened inside Twitter on Monday, and what that paywall might be like. So, I feel like we've already discussed enough about a few of these things, so I really want to kind of focus in on a couple of things here. Number one, I want to focus in on Twitter Blue, and I also want to focus in on putting Twitter behind a paywall, because these are the important things, right? By the day's end, I'm told at least some teams had begun to hold meetings in which employees were informed who their managers are, what their organization charts look like, and what their priorities will be. But several employees I spoke with were still wrestling with one overarching question. Do Musk and his team have any idea what they're doing? On one hand, the company is telling advertisers that it's thriving, The Verge's Alex Heath reported, adding 15 million daily users since the end of the second quarter. But the rollout of Musk's first signature project, a new version of the Twitter Blue subscription that will allow anyone to get a verification badge, has been a disaster. The company rolled out a new version of the app on Saturday with release notes that said the new Blue was now available. The copy, I should say, written by Calcanis, was widely derided for sounding like a phishing email. The problem is that Blue was not available, and so those who did subscribe found they'd merely gotten access to the current version of Blue, which is the $2 version. Then after a debate about the potential effects of unleashing thousands of new verified accounts onto the platforms. In the middle of the US midterm elections, the company postponed the launch. So, Twitter Blue is an idea that Elon Musk has been trying to kind of revolutionize to make the platform more money, increasing it from $2 a month to $8 a month, giving it the verification badge and everything. So far, this hasn't gone well. So the article goes on to claim too that Twitter Blue has only garnered like 100,000 subscribers or a little more than that up until this point, which isn't really enough to do much with. I mean, let's be honest, that's definitely not going to pay the bills over at Twitter. And on top of that, they're talking about, in specific, a feature in Twitter Blue that Elon Musk has kind of presented as an option where you would get half the ads. They're basically presenting this as something that could lose the company money. So, according to estimates, Twitter would lose about $6 in ad revenue per user in the United States by making the change to give half ads for Twitter Blue at $8 a month. Then when you factor in Apple and Google's cut from the the mobile app store of that $8 per month, Twitter likely would lose money on Twitter Blue if they go through with this ad light plan. And at this point, if Elon walks that back and he's like, hey, we're not doing that anymore, it's going to kind of get to the point where people are like, oh, aha, I told you so. Look at Elon Musk. His ideas are failing. Aha, look at what happened to Twitter, And I don't know if Elon Musk really wants for that to happen. So he's kind of in limbo now. Like, does he lose money potentially on this product, or does he kind of keep his ego in check and admit that he was wrong? It's definitely a tough decision for this guy, right? Now, also, there's been rumors that Elon Musk has thought about or is maybe even planning to make Twitter a paywalled app, right? Now, let's talk about that. So, I think it's pretty clear to anyone, right, that if Twitter were to go behind a paywall, no matter what the paywall is, the amount of users would just drop. Like, you got to think, for a lot of people on Twitter, it's simply not worth paying for. I mean, like, for me, yeah, you might get my money simply because I use Twitter for my job, and, I use Twitter just so much, like, looking for video topics and communicating with my audience, that using Twitter would be worth it for me. But I mean, for the average user, like, what exactly on Twitter is incentivizing them to want to put money into the platform? I think that's really what Elon Musk has kind of overlooked throughout a lot of this process. What about Twitter differentiates it from all the other social medias that are free? What about Twitter is worth paying for? No matter what it could be $1 a month. What about Twitter really sparks people to want to spend that $1 a month, you know what I mean? It's definitely something that I have to think about, and I really hope this doesn't happen, because if it does, it's going to destroy Twitter. There's really no way around it. Like, the platform would fall apart. Like, it's just that simple. You cannot paywall social media platforms. Part of what makes them succeed in the first place is the fact that they're free. You cannot get away with charging money for this. And I get it, Elon's trying to make money. He's trying to do his thing. He's trying to turn this company more profitable and stuff like that, but this is not the way to do it, man. This is not the way forward. Making this a paywalled app, you know, I feel like they're rushing a lot of the Twitter Blue idea to try and, you know, get it as profitable as quickly as possible and, you know, try and get people hyped up for it, and it's not really working. So as it stands right now, I mean, people are really upset about the direction of Twitter, and it's kind of understandable with some of these things. I feel like a lot of people are over-exaggerating some of the problems, but when it comes to stuff like this, man, I just don't understand exactly what they're thinking. So anyway, with that being said, thank you guys for watching. If you did enjoy, make sure to leave a like, subscribe if you're brand new around here on the channel, follow me over on Twitter and Twitch at @SubToOptimus. Make sure to check out Shoptimus down below. Thank you to my Watch Optimus subscribers. Your support helps the channel tremendously, and until my next video, guys, this is Optimus, well, not understanding some of these ideas for Twitter, and signing out.